Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager Challenge Mode, a series where we deliberately make things a little bit more complicated by adding in some additional rules that we have to follow. And if you are curious as to what those rules are, they are in the video description, so have a look at that down below and you can see what those extra rules are and also our progress against those restrictions as we move through the season. Last time out we had another mixed fortune race coming off the back of a retirement in Monaco. We went to Baku with a brand new upgrade package on the car. 3 new parts, a new rear wing, a new underfloor and new side pods. And very, very early on in the race we lost our best driver, Felipe. Or I'd say our fastest driver, Felipe, into the barrier when he was running very well indeed. So it became a bit of a what can we salvage from this? And we gambled with strategy with Freddie a little bit towards the end, and we came away with a podium. And we were close. We were very close to really going after the win. We just needed a little bit more luck, and I think if we'd had Felipe, we probably might well had the win from that race. So encouraging signs pace wise. We're going with that same upgrade package now to the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada, circuit I do really enjoy, but we're not going to expect the same results because it's a wet race and we're going to be taking some penalties to get those out of the way. So it's going to be a bit of an up and down race, this one, I think. Our main challenge is just going to be to try and fight back into the points. So fingers crossed things will go well. How you doing, Mr. Walter? It's good to see you. Let's have a look at our performance guarantees. I'm actually not going to set any guarantees in terms of quali. I am going to go for the fastest lap. And, well, we'll see what happens with the streaks.
Formula One is back in Montreal. Let's hope it's not going to be Groundhog Day. The local rodents have disrupted more than one race day here in the past. The Canadian Grand Prix is ready to kick off, and the only drama on the tracks we want to see is the best drivers in the world battling it out for a place on that podium. Gilles Villeneuve is a quick, free-flowing circuit in parts with a stop-start aspect thrown in for good measure around the chicanes and hairpin bends. Medium-speed downforce will play a large part in avoiding the wall of champions and ensuring success at this iconic track. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder what else is in store for the teams. Well, there's only one way to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula One.
And there you can see our weather report for this weekend. It's going to be a wet quali, potentially, and it's going to be a very wet race, which is going to be good and bad. With the improvements to our car, we should be very competitive. However, with the changing conditions, as we saw at Imola, there will be periods when our drivers are going to absolutely struggle to adapt. Their low adaptability ratings, Felipe in particular, is really going to hurt them. So it's going to be a real mixed bag here. When we're quick, we'll be very quick. When the weather is in that kind of changeable condition, we're going to be very slow. Yeah, we'll just have to make the most of it and see how the race goes. But as I say, we are going to be taking some penalties here. So let's start off by putting in some practice parts. Here we go, it's our engines. Leaving the ERS modules alone. And putting in some practice gearboxes. Okay, run plan for Canada is 21 laps. We're going to go with the hard tyres. And let's take a look at the sliders and see where the cars look for setup. Okay, so we're looking at a very low wing on the front for this car. So we'll go 2.5, 11.5, a 2.8, a 3.3, and a 0.9. Let's see how that works. That's right on the limit for cornering. Let's take a look at Freddie's car. This one's a bit more open, so let's go with a 4, 11.5, a 1.9, that might not work, a 3.25, and a 1, and that isn't going to work. So let's try dialing that back a little bit. Let's go to a 3, a 2.8, a 3.3, and a 0.95. Just rein that last one in a little bit. There we go. Right, let's head to practice.
Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, should be green now.
So luckily there's no rain for Friday, which means we can get our car dialed in without having to worry about breaking our run structure for changing tyres for inters and things like that. So we've got to make the most of this. We really do need to get these cars dialed in by the end of session 2, so that we can just focus on doing a little bit of running in FP3. I forget which part it is, but we do have one part where we do not have a spare until tomorrow. So, got to make sure we don't put it in the wall. I think it's the chassis. I think we don't have a spare chassis until Saturday. So, as long as we don't put it in the wall and damage a chassis in FP1, we're okay. If we do it in FP2, that's fine, because it'll just get replaced at the beginning of FP3. But then, as long as we then got to make sure we don't bin it in FP3 or quali, because we won't have a spare for the race without doing some emergency manufacturing, which we can do, but I prefer not to if at all possible. Once again, I'm having a look through the driver list, and I don't see any reserve drivers being unleashed. No, does not look like it. And the pace between our two drivers is really close, which means, given the unpredictability of the weather on race day, Freddie's probably going to be the faster of the two across the race distance.
Doing any more?
Alright, we've got 96% for Freddie as a starting base. That's really good. What about Felipe? 87, so we need a little bit more work on his car. Yeah, normally we find that Felipe is the faster of our two drivers over a race just because he's got higher cornering braking stats, but as I say, with the unpredictability of the weather and the fact that Freddie has got the higher adaptability, when we do get those changeable conditions hit, he will be faster by probably about half a second a lap. That's what we saw at Imola. So yeah, it could well be that Freddie will be our lead driver for this weekend again once the rain hits. So need to make a change. Let's try doing that and see if that one click is enough. Let's see what effect that has. Let's take a look at Felipe's car. We need to change the rear wings, so we're going to have to run a 12, I think, on this one. So let's go with that, and let's see how that one shakes out. Alright, so touch wood, both of our cars will come in at about 100% at the end of this this run here, or at least very, very close. We're almost there with Freddy, so it's just finding the right direction to just make those final tweaks. Felipe's car does need a little bit more work, and I'm hoping that the changes that we made will be the right ones. But again, we can always tweak in the opposite direction if we've gone the wrong way.
Did somebody spin out there?
Oh, Gasly having a little wobble. But as we saw in Baku last night, when we were pushing on soft tyres, we were very quick, and that is encouraging for if we get any dry spells. Oh, a lock up there for Freddy. Kept it out the wall, which is good.
So this was the Aston Martin. And yes, that's the lockup.
Yeah, we were very, very quick when we were on the soft tyres. If we do get dry periods in the race, because all we know is that there's going to be heavy rain, so it could start light rain, move to heavy, could start heavy, move to light, but it could never actually possibly dry up. It could be wet the entire race, which I really hope it isn't going to be the case. But if we do get a dry spell where we can really push on soft tyres, we will be mighty fast. And we have gone the wrong way with Freddy, so we can correct that. As long as we can nail it down in the next session, that's not a problem. What about Felipe? We have gone the right way with Felipe, so we just need to fine-tune that a little bit more.
Good session.
So useful session, got some good knowledge, got some good ideas as to which way to go with the setups, and gained some good track time as well. So we'll go with the mediums and prepare for another double run if we need to. So I'm going to go just 18 laps of fuel, because we're going to try and do 2 runs. Like I said, I want to make sure we get this car absolutely nailed, just in case there is wet weather on FP3. So let's fine-tune these setups a bit. Let's see. We started with a higher wing setup there, so that to me suggests we need to swap that to a 3.7. I'm going to go with that. think that could well be it. Evening, Anthony. And let's take a look at Freddy. We went the wrong way when we made these changes, so if we correct that to the opposite side, that should resolve those issues. In fact, I'm so confident with Freddy, I'm actually going to do a single run with Freddy. He needs a little bit more track time because he did have that lockup which slowed down his track knowledge gain. So we're going to go 30 laps, or a single 30 lap run.
Radio check.
So yeah, a little bit more unsure with Felipe, so that's why we're doing 2 short runs. Freddy's going to have that 1 long run because I think we're going to be pretty much, spot on with this one. And he does need that extended track time to make up for his lockup in FP1. Oh, that's another lockup. Again, he kept it out the wall, and it's early on this time.
Let's have a look here. This was the...
Same corner, same lockup. But again, that's going to slow down his track gain. Evening, Farrah. Yes, indeed, they did miss a really good race last night. So if you haven't seen it, I do highly recommend going back and watching the replay of that one.
Now let's have a look. It's Lance Stroll.
Oh, that's a big hit.
And there's the
That's a double hit.
Mark my words, there'll be questions asked about that later.
Magnussen just spearing the life out of Lance Stroll there.
The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
Alright, feedback should be coming any moment. Oh, we actually made that run slightly too short. There we go. Look at that, perfect. We nailed Freddy. It's exactly what we needed, but you can see how slow his track acclimatization curve is because of that lockup. It slowed his progress down again, so we're going to need to run him again for quite a long time in the next session. We're going to run him as long as we can in this one, so we'll keep him out on track at the end of his run, just to try and squeeze as much track knowledge out of him as possible.
What do you think?
95 with Felipe, so again, we didn't get there where we needed to be. Might even have gone backwards slightly. Okay, so the picture's starting to become a little clearer. Let's try... Let's try doing that. See what happens with that. Farah's in the valleys. Alright, we've only got a little bit more fuel left. Could probably get one more lap out of Freddie before he passed the pit. You're not too far from me then, Anthony, if you're in Burton-on-Trent. I'm in Nottingham. Alright, so what did we get Freddie up to in the end? 67%, yeah, it's not too bad. I didn't say you were from the valleys, I said you were in the valleys.
How's the balance?
Okay, 99%, so we just need a little click of toe and Felipe is sorted. That is excellent. There we go, productive session. We've got all the difficult stuff out of the way before the rain. I would never stoop so low as to call you boyo.
After a day of free practice yesterday, we wrap up with the third and final session.
Okay, we're going to start drying the session. Let's give that toe a click that way. Just need a short run for Felipe. 20 laps will be not quite enough. Need to go about 24 laps just to make sure he gets across the line and does the full half an hour for the points. Freddie's going to need a little bit longer. He's going to need probably another 30 laps or so, and no mistakes please this time. And are we going to have any wet weather in this session, or is it going to be in quali?
Ready to check?
It's going to be in quali, so we're going to have a wet quali as well as a wet race.
Green light.
It's going to be an unpredictable one tonight. Okay, so Felipe's run looks to be just about perfect in terms of time to get him over the half-hour mark, and Freddie's looks to be just about perfect as long as he doesn't have another lockup. Excellent stuff. So we just need to see whether or not we made the click of toe the right direction or not. We can correct it, and if we didn't, without having to run again, just go in the opposite direction. Any moment now. There we go. We did go the right way. Excellent stuff. So yeah, we just need to run down the clock now. Finish these runs, and we are good to go for quali and the race. That's Felipe done. And that's Freddie done. So are we going to see any drama from the rest of the field in the last 20 minutes? Once again, Red Bulls are looking pretty quick, but the rest of the field does look to be a little bit quick, a bit closer. Again, it's practice. We can't read too much into the times. And Verstappen is on mediums against those softs, so that is potentially a little ominous. He's going to be so fast in the rain. Unless something happens to Verstappen, he should probably walk this race. And will Hamilton actually get a result? He's struggled in the last couple of races. Right, let's put in some new parts. So, as I said at the start, we are going to be taking penalties here. So we're going to use these new engines first for the first run. And we do need an extra gearbox for Freddie as well. Do I need a new gearbox for Felipe? Shouldn't do. But what the hell, we might as well go for the complete set for both drivers. So let's get our first run out of the way, and then we'll be changing the components again for the second run. Okay, the conditions are going to change a little bit, so we're going to go out now, just in case it doesn't dry up enough. Get a banker time in. That's Russell on track. Okay, Freddie starts his attack run. We're going to get a clear lap, which is good. No traffic to worry about. Track is drying, but it's going to get potentially a little bit wetter again in a couple of minutes. All we need to do is just get through this first session so we can put those new parts on. Still not much movement from the garage. We've got a Ferrari out on track and a McLaren leaving the pits, but nobody else has gone out yet apart from that Haas and Russell. And there we go, 119.1 and a 118.9 for Felipe. I don't know if those are going to be enough to get us through. It depends how much the track dries. And now we're starting to see some movement from the garage. A few more cars coming out. And they're going to come out right in front of Russell. But I think Russell has done his time, hasn't he? Yes, he has. So that's not going to affect him. So who is on track right now? I got Sainz about to start his attack run. Ricardo. And then we've got Albon and Gasly are the two that just came out of the garage. Let's keep an eye on Sainz. Water level looks like it's starting to creep up. Oh, and there we go. A big sudden flash of extra rain coming.
Copy. Just pit limiter. Just a reminder on pit limiter.
So how wet is it going to get? This is definitely going to be a slower lap than the one we did, I think, just simply because there's so much more water on the track now. And yeah, a 1:19.4, not that much slower than Vesti. We've got a Red Bull in front, and we've got Albon making a mistake, I think.
They've locked up and gone straight on. Let's take a closer look. Now watch this. Here's the moment involving Albon. That lockup could have cost them dearly.
That was his attack run as well, I believe, his fastest lap attempt. So, yeah, that's really going to hurt him. Unless the track dries up enough in the second run. We're into full wet territory now, and that's a Red Bull in front. And it's Perez. Verstappen hasn't left the garage yet. So, Perez is going to have a slow time here. Let's re-equip those tyres.
Someone spun out.
Spin for Norris. That's going to potentially screw up his lap. He got away with it. Track's starting to dry again. And we do potentially have a little window of dry weather.
Rain, all clear.
I don't think it's going to dry enough. But we are going to have to go again, just to make sure we do go through, because everyone's going to go much faster. And we want to be out on track at the right time here. Just want to make sure we do actually get around the track for a run. We're not quite at the back, but we are close enough. Just got to hope now that there's no incident that's going to screw up our lap. Oh, if I put softs on, we'd be going out right now. There's no way we'd be getting round in time. Okay, so Vesti's going to make it across the line, and so is Felipe. So we should be very quick here. How quick is another matter. Leclerc kind of setting the pace, although Russell and Verstappen are also going to be right up there. Vettel crosses the line. Now Ricciardo takes the top. Everyone's going to be improving here. Okay, Vesti approaches the line. And only goes 11th. Drogovic goes up to 8th. Are we going to get through? It's going to be really tight. Look how close the field is. Really, really close there. So from Fernando down at 1:17.0 to Freddie is just less than 3/10. Very, very close session. But we're through, so let's put on some more new parts. So we're going to take a brand new engine for both cars. There we go. So this will make us start 10 places lower down. And now we're going to do the same with ERS. So this is going to start us at the back of the grid. Because that would be 20 place penalty now. And if we can get through to the next session, which if it's dry, we've got every chance of doing, then we can take new gearboxes for the FP3, sorry, for Q3. Let's see, what tyres are we starting on? We are starting on softs. Okay.
Radio check.
It's gonna stay dry,
Radio check.
according to this. Let's go out and do a bank lap. And once again, we're going to be out ahead of Russell. You're assuming I've taken the hit with parts early as my driver's struggling in the wet. Partly, I mean, the main reason was because this is a circuit where if you do take penalties here, it's relatively easy to recover. So I'd already kind of made that decision before I saw what the weather was going to do. But yeah, I mean, we're going to have an up and down race. This is just, going to be the better race for us to do it. Oh, Felipe is going to retire because Ocon's not going to let him get back to the pits. Hate it when it does this.
We've had a crash.
Oh, Alonso's
Here's
crashed.
the replay. Okay, so there we have the Alpine.
So no new gearbox for...
Definite collision there. That's very unfortunate.
They really need to change the crash animations for this circuit. They are terrible. No new gearbox for Felipe, but he didn't need one. It would have been a luxury for him. Freddie does need a new gearbox. And Felipe is not going through to the next session as things stand anyway, because his time wasn't good enough. Because he got held up by Ocon, who then stopped him from being able to go in the pits and caused him to retire. So yeah, thanks Esteban, much appreciated. But there you can see the pace of the car. Vesti should be in with a good shout of actually getting through. We'll get ready for another run just in case, because it is quite tight behind us. Look, it's only 2/10 from 4th to 10th. So just to make sure, we will do that extra run. Again, it doesn't really matter where we qualify, because we are getting eliminated back to the back of the grid thanks to all these penalties. But I do want to get into the top 10 just so we can equip a new gearbox. I suppose theoretically I could put a new gearbox on both cars in the next session anyway, so you know, at the start of the race. Yeah, so we can get a new gearbox on both cars regardless. Freddie's not going to run in Q3, but this is a good chance to see what kind of pace we've actually got against the rest of the field. Are they running? They're running new tyres for this second run. We're running scrubs. So you could maybe take a tenth off our time there. So yeah, we're good enough for, say, 5th with Freddie. That's not bad. All right. So for the race, we want... that's a 56 engine, isn't it? It's not good. I might go with another new engine actually for Freddie, just to give him that option, because he is, you know, down an engine effectively, because that one's pretty much toast now. ERS modules 48%, that'll be fine for the race. Just gearboxes. Did I actually buy a new gearbox already? I don't remember doing that. Okay, so new gearboxes. They've both run their new ERS. And... oh, it's a new... yeah, I didn't buy the extra. There we go, that's what I meant to do. I was looking at the wrong thing when I was clicking on... I was looking at gearboxes. So yeah, we're okay. We're going to run that engine. That will be fine. And that will be fine. I thought I was looking at engines when I was looking at the gearboxes. That's why I'd already bought the 5th one and confused myself. Right. As I say, we're not running in this session. There's no point, because we're just going to go straight to the back of the grid anyway. So,
Radio check.
let's just see what the rest of the field does.
Radio check.
It's going to be another wet one as well.
There's more rain now, so just watch for slippery conditions.
Copy.
We are expecting rain pretty soon.
Yeah, copy.
Oh, heavy rain. Very heavy rain. So that looks like it could be the, you know, well, pole position is definitely sorted. Question is where's Hamilton, Russell, and Leclerc going to end up? They're going to be on the wrong tyres for these conditions, but then everyone is.
Looks like there's been a lock-up.
Verstappen with a lock-up. So Hamilton improves to 8th, Russell to 9th, Leclerc stays in 7th. So they're going to be having to fight through a little bit. Rain always shakes up the grid.
Welcome to race day. And before we get down to it, last-minute checks are being made.
Aston Martin performed well during the qualifying session and they're rewarded with a good grid position for the race. Alpine demonstrated a lot of grit during qualifying here and will be hoping that the hard work pays off when it comes to the race. And the sky is looking grey and cloudy today. An effective tyre strategy could prove very valuable as the race plays out.
And each team will be hoping that fortune is on their side. So bon chance to them and their drivers for this Canadian Grand Prix.
All right, let's have a look at the weather prediction. Going to be starting on the softs, so we can go really aggressive at the start and then try and undercut some people with pit stops. It is going to start on inters and then escalate to full wets before going back to inters, and we may possibly get a short stint on softs at the end of the race. We'll see how quickly it dries up. So let's go with this strategy and make some changes. We want to go softs, then inters, then wets, and then back to inters, and then we'll leave the end of it until we know what's going to happen. So 19 laps on soft, and then the inters, that's handy. Then the wets, we want those to kick in somewhere around about lap 28. And then we want to bring these ones in somewhere around about lap 50-51. There we go. Fuel, we're going to take a lap of fuel out. Let's take 2 laps of fuel out. We're going to go aggressive off the line. Try and gain as many quick positions as we can. Let's do the same with Felipe here. So softs to inters to full wets. Then back to inters. There we go. Again, we're going to take 2 laps of fuel out. Up. We're going to go aggressive off the line. And let's see what we can do. I am going to make a guarantee of a position gain. Just give us something to do. I'm going to see if we can get Freddie into 10th. Felipe to 11th. If we can gain half a grid, I'll be happy with that. It will be no points, but yeah, it'll be a nice bit of money to help pay for those engines, etc., that we've just spent a fortune on.
It's a bit of a cloudy day for the race, but the atmosphere, as ever, is electric. Taking a look at the Aston Martin. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. There's the second Aston Martin. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. The teams are ready to go.
Not just the back 10, the back row. All right, here we go.
The drivers are ready and raring to go. It's the Canadian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Alright, good start for Felipe.
This is good, come on.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
That's it.
I was hoping he was going to have a look down the
like
inside
Aston
there.
Martin have just gained a race position.
Oh, just forcing his way up the inside. He's got his teammate right behind him. Can he sneak up the inside as well? Not quite.
Good job.
So, a good first lap. We gained some positions. We're still on the attack. So we're about to get Magnussen hit.
Nicely done. DRS is enabled.
Alright, so we've pretty much killed our batteries. But it's been worth it. We've made some progress. Don't really want to be fighting each other here.
Back off.
Copy.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah, copy.
This is good, come on.
We just need to charge up.
Okay, copy.
Right, so now we're actively hurting each other. So Freddie making a little bit more progress.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
So use energy if you need it.
Hopefully Joe will not have another crack at us down this back straight. Need to try and make as much progress as we can before the rain hits. And ideally we need to put a little bit of a gap between our two drivers as well, so that they don't trip over each other when it comes to pitting for inters. So let's try and break Vesti away from Joe here. That'll make it easier for Felipe to get past him. And also we can try and get on the back of Vettel. While we're in this dry period, we should have a lot of good pace, so we should be able to easily catch up to the pack in front. Especially as half the field's on mediums. and we're on softs. That will definitely help us.
We have low battery.
Okay, copy.
Use energy.
Yeah, confirm.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
So there we go, we're up to 15th and 16th now. So our two drivers should be able to leapfrog each other while they're hunting down Vettel and Albon, which means they can keep on charging and should theoretically still make some progress. They'll get more acceleration, well, they get more speed through a corner, but the acceleration out of a corner they will obviously lose out a little bit because they're not using any battery. But when we get up to speed, we should be faster. And what's going to help us as well is that Vettel is in front of Albon. Vettel's on the mediums, whereas Albon's on the softs. So, yeah, you can see they're actually going for an overtake there. And we're blocking each other. Lovely.
Doing a good job. Keep pushing.
Alright, we're in DRS range. We're very good through that first sector.
Energy's good.
Copy.
Alright, Felipe no longer needs to charge. Freddie still needs a little bit of charge, but hopefully you can find a way through.
So use energy.
Okay, copy.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Okay, energy's good.
Okay.
Just make sure I'm not in clean air. No, good. Not getting through there. It's very defensive driving from Albon there, but we're going to have a go around the outside here. No. Oh, squeezing our way through. Can we hold position? Not quite. Alright, let's get this move done.
Energy if you need it.
Copy.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Once again, we really do need to make hay while the sun shines. In this case, while the sun is literally shining. Right, that gets us past Vettel. And now we should be able to sprint away from Albon at the front.
Good job.
Which will allow Felipe to have a run. Perfect.
Let's just keep doing what you're doing.
We need to charge here.
Copy.
Right, it's got to hope that Freddie can hold back the Alphas. Sorry, the Alpha Tauris, which he has been able to do. Felipe takes the fastest lap. I just need to make sure I stay with Felipe now. There we go.
We just need to charge up.
And now we're in a good position. We're up to 13th and 14th. Getting the batteries refilled. 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds off the back of Alonso. That is not so good. Let's see, Alonso is doing 118s at the moment. Low 118s. Let's see what we can do now we're into some clear air. Even while we're charging, we should hopefully be a little bit quicker. Let our drivers leapfrog each other while they're charging up like this. Okay, so yeah, we are going too slow. Oh wow, the gap just went up to 8.5 seconds. Felipe is almost fully charged, so we can immediately look at going back into neutral with him at the start of the next lap. That's a hell of a queue, look. Sainz is leading, and he's leading everybody back to Bottas. And there's a 1.5 second gap to Bottas. And then, well, Russell now. And then everyone else is really close. So everyone's kind of lapping at front runner pace here, which is why we're dropping back so fast while we're charging up. So let's get Felipe to go a little bit faster again. We are getting close to the theoretical window for weather change. We haven't quite climbed as far up the grid as I was hoping, but yeah, we haven't done a bad job. It's just because everyone's in that long train. They're all running at a very, very fast pace. And we've been stuck at some slow pace for a while, trying to recover after our early exertions. Alright, so I'm going to sprint my drivers for one lap here. Try and break away from the AlphaTauris. See if we can close that gap down to Alonso again. Alright, I think we just about managed to break the DRS of the Alphas. Yes, we did. Excellent stuff. And we took 2 seconds out of Alonso by doing that as well.
Rain still coming.
Copy.
We can push more.
Okay, copy.
Got to be very careful. Every time we push, we are risking an accident. Or it's the last couple of laps before we pit.
This is good, come on.
Okay, so we've definitely broken the alphas now, which is good. We've got Felipe's battery back to almost full, and now we can work on Freddy's while he's getting some DRS. Question is, do we pit at the end of this lap or the next one? Let's see what happens with the weather.
We're not okay on fuel.
Yeah, copy.
It's going to start raining the second we go past the entrance, look.
Box.
Yeah, copy. One.
Alright, so this is where, there we go, look. There's the rain.
There is a small sprinkling of rain.
Yeah, copy.
Unfortunately, because it started at the beginning of our lap, it does mean that we're not going to be able to undercut any of the cars in front. Because they're all going to dive into the box. Well, we'll undercut some of them. Some of them will end up having to stay out, because some teams just never ever do the double stack. But you see how Felipe just lost a load of traction through that corner there into the changeable conditions. This is where his driver ability really takes a hit in conditions like this. Actually, no, we're going to stay aggressive because it's going to be a short run on these inters. So, Perez, Ocon, Norris,
Happy to push.
Leclerc, Russell, they're all having to stay out.
So I'm entering the pit now.
Copy.
So's Vettel.
He's pit limiter.
Is anyone going straight to wets? Inters. More inters. So it doesn't look like anyone's making the jump straight to wet tyres. Drogovic has lost out to Albon, which I expected. Bit of a shame. Oh, Hamilton spun.
Let's have a look. Now, just watch the Mercedes here. What a spin!
For whatever reason, Hamilton's season is just not going well at all. It's like he's a rookie driver or something. Alright, so we need to be on it here in terms of
Do what you can to
driving in clear air.
Okay, copy.
So we're happy to let these tyres cool a bit.
Yeah, copy.
Doing a good job.
Got loads of energy.
Copy.
That's it.
Aston Martin took a chance, and it's paid off.
Okay, Felipe definitely took a hit there.
This is good.
Oh, we almost got in front of Leclerc. We're up to 9th. And we're going to get another chance at jumping some people. If, you know, when we switch to full wets in, what, 7 laps time? Farah's delighted about the fact that we are ahead of Hamilton. Who would have known? Best is looking for the overtake. He's throwing some moves on Leclerc here. Oh, Schumacher has gone straight to wets. Interesting. So he's going to be terribly slow until that weather hits. He's way at the back of the grid. It's not really going to help him. We're lining up a run on the outside of Leclerc and switch to the inside maybe. Yes, he is. He's going to go for it. Let's give him some deployment because he's obviously got more pace.
Can use energy. Use energy. You can use energy.
Seeing as we're pushing the tyres, we may as well give him every opportunity to actually make this move. And there we go, straight away. Gets alongside. And takes the position heading into Sector 2. Great stuff.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Felipe is closing back in on Albon. It's really not worked out well for Felipe. Freddie, though, all the way up in 8th right now. I did say out of the two drivers, once the weather hit, that Freddie would end up being the faster of the two. Just because he's got the higher adaptability. It's still not great, but it's better than Felipe's. Who does have the fastest lap right now. And if it doesn't dry up, we'll probably keep it. Might really have just realised that I might have been sabotaging Felipe slightly there with his driving clear air instruction. Yeah, 122.3 last lap. Freddie did a 121.7. Once again, we're going to give him every opportunity to get this pass done. Got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Please don't be Vesti. It's not, it's Gasly.
Oh, big lock up there. We can take a look now. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one. Oh, and there's the lock up. That's the last thing they'll have wanted.
Oh, he screws us over.
And the team had so...
You can use energy.
Okay, that move's been done there. Bestie now all over the back of Gasly. This is going so much better than I was expecting it to. Just outside the window for full wets. All over the back of him right now. Need to find a way through. Come on, have a lunge. Have a lunge. Alright, here we go. It's going for the move. Can he make it before he runs out of battery? It's going up the inside. And he's got him. And that's us out of battery. Can we hold the position?
Yep, low battery.
Copy.
Oh, this is going to be tight. It's going to be a straight drag race and we might lose this. Still side by side. We get a little bit of battery from our braking here, and that means we should be able to complete this move now. There we go. And that was Schumacher we just lapped. Oh, and he's holding everybody else up. Excellent stuff. Hamilton drops down to 10th briefly, but gets back past Leclerc. We're up to 7th. We're only 2 seconds off the back of Perez here. Right, Felipe is closing on Ocon. He's lapping about half, well, yeah, about half a second faster than Ocon, who's in a battle with Norris right now.
Rears are hot.
Yeah, copy.
Track's almost dry. No wonder Schumacher's
Pretty
struggling.
dry, so don't damage these tyres, especially high speed.
Yeah, copy.
Back into conditions, but only just. Again, it's changeable conditions like this that's hurting Felipe more than Freddie. And I'm now looking at fuel and starting to worry about the gamble I took to take 2 laps of fuel out. I was expecting we would have had a safety car incident at some point, and it hasn't happened yet. And sooner or later, we're going to have to start doing some pretty aggressive fuel saving.
Okay, suggest lift and coast.
Okay, copy.
Copy that. Box.
Copy, box.
Save fuel, save fuel.
Copy.
We just need to charge up.
Yeah, copy.
So we're going to try and preempt
Copy.
everyone else.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah.
Over the next lap or two, it should go to full wet territory. So, good stop for Freddie. It's going to come out in some clean air. And a good stop for Felipe as well. Nobody else coming into the pits yet, but they will hopefully go for another lap. We're back behind Vettel. Right, so these guys at the very, very front should stay out for another lap. Which to do. Oh, it's not quite got wet enough yet. Oh, okay. These tyres are not quite in the right window yet. They're not far off. Did we go a lap too early? Well, maybe. If our drivers had better adaptability, then yes, we would have gone a lap too early. But with their lower adaptability, they would be struggling on inters in these conditions anyway. So, I think it's better to make sure we're on the right tyre now, rather than waiting that extra lap. We are going to lose some ground, we're going to lose some time. But here comes that extra bit of rain, so we should be looking at the change to full wets coming now. So, are we going to see Verstappen, Sainz, etc. start to dive into the pits this lap? I think some of them will, I don't know if they all will. And all of a sudden you can see we've got a big grip advantage. Okay, so Verstappen's in, Ricciardo's in, Alonso and Bottas also in. Sainz stays out. That's going to hurt Sainz really badly. Drogovic now really being held up badly by Vettel. Hamilton stays out as well. Gasly's in the pits. Russell stays out. So both both Mercedes are staying out. There's a lot of cars staying out. Okay, we're gonna have some fun over these next couple of laps as we start reeling in these Inter drivers. We do lose out to Gasly, but expected given that we had our pit stop a lap too early, and we're also in fuel saving mode right now. Finally, we get the move done on Vettel.
This is good, come on.
And the really, really heavy rain is on its way.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
So watch the gap between Sainz and Vettel. It should start plummeting. Sainz is staying out another lap. What is he doing? Perez pits. Okay, what is going on here? Half the field is staying on Inters. Hamilton, Leclerc, Russell, all staying on Inters. Sainz is still on Inters. Oh, that's ruining their race. And that's Sainz, I think. Was that Leclerc? That's Leclerc holding everybody up there. That gap between Sainz and Verstappen is gone. Verstappen's making the overtake now. There we go. He's lost 6 seconds in one lap. And could easily have lost more. Okay.
No saving required.
Yeah, copy.
Stop doing some fuel saving there. As everybody's trying to find a way past Leclerc. See if we can capitalise this with a quick dive up the inside. Nope. But we will follow through. Oh, and that Mercedes is yet to stop as well.
That's it.
And we dive straight through there as well. Beautiful stuff. So we're back up to 9th. Sainz has still not pitted. Once again, we're seeing bonkers
Looks like Aston Martin have
race
just
strategy
gained the
here
race
from
position.
the AI.
Fuel.
Okay.
And we're back on the gearbox of Perez again. So still Hamilton and Sainz up front, Russell and Leclerc. So it's the the Mercedes and the Ferraris just stubbornly refusing to come off the inters here, and I do not know why. And we're going to swoop through and take both places. Excellent. Hamilton holds up Perez for us, and we just go thanks very much and swoop past the pair of them. Ricciardo's in second.
Aston Martin are moving up the field.
Sainz is just plummeting down the order, and he still isn't boxing. What on earth is going on? I mean, Ferrari are just being Ferrari, but what's going on with Mercedes? Drogovic has got past Leclerc. He's coming up on the back of Russell now, and gets Russell.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
This is bonkers. Still no pit stops, and you watch, they're going to stop just as the track starts to dry up again. Alright, we're going to be attacking Sainz any second now. There he is, just in front of Gasly. And Sainz finally pits. As Felipe gets past Hamilton, who's down to 13th now. And we can see anyone else pit.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Hamilton has stayed out. Russell has stayed out. Leclerc dives in as well. So it's just the Mercedes now.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Copy.
We're not okay on fuel.
Yeah, copy.
Oh man, Leclerc's about to get lapped. That's crazy. I can't believe Leclerc is about to get lapped.
Lift and coast will help.
Okay, copy.
Meanwhile, Freddie in 6th place, holding off Perez. We're dropping back from Gasly. Again, we are fuel saving. But I didn't expect us to get this far. And finally, Hamilton finally pits for full wets. Russell has to go another lap. So Russell's going to get lapped. Because there's Verstappen in the background. And Hamilton gets lapped as well. And now Russell's going to get overtaken by his teammate. Ah, disaster for Mercedes again. Another race where they're going to struggle to do anything. I really don't know what's going on with Mercedes this season. Vesti is still holding back Perez. He's doing a fantastic job here. Felipe is losing a little bit of ground to Ocon, but he's faster than Albon. Considerably faster than Albon. And he is still fuel saving. So, we're looking very, very good here. This is where I said I wanted to get Drogovic up to as well. We said we wanted to get Felipe into 11th and Freddie into 10th. Well, we're easily doing that with Freddie, and we're on target at the moment with Felipe as well, so we will make our position gain sponsor bonus here, which will cover the cost of new engines but not new gearboxes and ERS modules as well. Oh, and finally Perez gets through. That's fine. We're not going to fight it.
Red Bull gained a place.
I want to make sure we've got the fuel. We can have another crack at Perez later in the race when the Inters come back. I just want to make sure we've got the fuel situation sorted before then. And Russell finally dives into the pits. So let's have a look at lap times. 1:37.8 for Felipe. Yeah, that sudden spurt of extra rain really hurt him. And that's what cost Vesti as well. You can see he lost, you know, a second and a half to Norris on that last lap. Once again, it's that changeable conditions. As the track just ever so slowly evolves, you know, our drivers are okay, but when there's a big change in water level, you know, in a quick period of time, our drivers really struggle. Hopefully, their times will pick up again a little bit this lap in relation to the rest of the field.
So we just need to push now.
Copy.
We've only got about 10 more laps, I think. 10, 12 laps before Inter's come out, so it's time to start pushing these wet tyres as the track's going to start to dry. And there you see the difference there. A 1:34.2, we did gain about half a second back. Drugovic still considerably slower than Ocon by a second, but this lap will be quicker as the track starts to dry, and now that we're starting to push the tyres, we're almost at a point where we can stop fuel saving as well. So I expect our drivers to be faster lap time wise. It already looks like we're closing in on Perez again. Or at the very least keeping pace. Perez does 1:31.3, we do a 1:31.1, so we are closing that gap again. Right, let's keep an eye on the time difference between Ocon and Drugovic. Ocon does a 1:31.3. What does Felipe manage? 1:31.0. So yeah, the track is coming back to us a little bit. We're being a bit more aggressive with our tyres because we can afford to burn them up a bit now. And, you know, I can afford to stop fuel saving with Freddie. I'm going to go one more lap with Felipe. In fact, no, I'm going to stop with Felipe as well. While we've got an advantage, let's press that advantage. And there we go, half a second faster than Perez there. Over half a second. Let's give him a little bit more battery so we can get ready to do some overtaking again.
Yeah, copy.
And Felipe 0.4 of a second faster than Ocon, so yeah, it's definitely coming back to us. we're close enough that we should still be able to get a slipstream off Perez here. Another little sprinkle of rain. We're holding pace. That's excellent. And Drogovic. Is still closing by half a second.
So we're happy to let these tyres cool a bit.
Okay, copy.
What pace is Gasly and Bottas doing? Let's see. They're doing 130.3 and 130.7. So we are lapping much faster than Bottas, Alonso and Ricciardo. Excellent. You have to say Alonso and Bottas being held by Ricciardo right now. As the track level goes up again. That will hurt us. Need that to stop going up and start coming down a little bit more. But it's a very gradual little incremental change, which is why it's not really affected our pace too much. And let's stop charging Vesti. Let's start shaping up for a move on Perez. We want to really try and close that gap down to Gasly. And then set about trying to close the gap to Ricciardo and Alonso and Bottas while Ricciardo leads that little train. We are maybe 5 laps away from Inters.
Use energy if you need it, use energy.
Copy.
Gonna have a look around the outside, which will become the inside. And we've got him. There we go. Up to P6 again.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Vesti really is starting to come into his own this season, which is really, really good to see. I was championing him last season when he was half a second slower than Felipe, saying that he would come good, and he's starting to. Three more laps, I think. The transitional period between inters to wets is going to be a tricky one for us. We will momentarily lose quite a bit of pace to the AI, which is why getting our pit stops judged at the right time is going to be absolutely crucial. Let's see what Vesti can do with our lap of clean air. Again, about half a second faster than Gasly. That's excellent stuff. Ocon is being reeled in by Drogovic. Ocon does a 28.5. Felipe does a 27.7. Oh, almost a second faster. Alright, we're 20 seconds off Ricardo here. I'm tempted to really burn the tyres, but I don't want to overly stress the drivers. I don't want to throw away the positions we're in right now. So this is as hard as I'm going to push them. We could really throw those tyres out. There must be variables with each day. Vesti was unreliable for you. It depends on how you develop the driver. It depends on how you develop the car, and also there is the element of luck in there a little bit as well. But you know, I've spent all my time with Vesti just boosting his braking, improving his braking control. And we did the same with Felipe in season 1, and this season we're working on his cornering. And we improved the car to make the car better under brakes, to try and improve the engine cooling a bit. So we didn't just throw everything at pace and have a car that, you know, was quick but handled like a pig when it came to braking, especially hard braking, so that when you do push your drivers, there's a lot less chance that they are going to make a horrible mistake. And by improving their braking, not only are you giving their pace stats a massive boost, but you are also improving their control when they hit the brakes, which means they're less likely to have those big lockups. And if the car has got really good brake cooling, then the car can cope with that extra, aggressive braking. You can have all the braking skill in the world, but if your car's got awful brake cooling, then if you start pushing those drivers, they are going to go into the wall. And we are seeing our first sets of drivers boxing. And ironically, Hamilton's one of the first to go on back onto Inters. So Alonso, Bottas, and Gasly are all diving into the pits, as is Freddie. We might possibly be able to jump Gasly, but I don't think we will. No, Bottas was already clear.
Copy.
Can we get out ahead of Albon? Yes, we can. We're right behind Ocon. So this is the period where we need to just hang on for this lap. Next lap will be faster. As Verstappen makes his stop. See, even with the right tyres compared to Ocon, we're not really closing in this lap because we're in that period where it's just a little bit too wet for our drivers. But as that water level gets below 3.5, all of a sudden we find that extra bit of pace. And Ocon dives into the pits, saves us having to fight him. Perez is in the pits. Can we jump Perez? Get back in front of him. Yes, we can. Alright, can Felipe jump Ocon here?
Drop back a bit.
No, not quite, but he's not far off though. It's definitely closed the gap.
Yeah, take it easy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it looks like we are definitely going to have some dry running. So we're going to keep pushing these tyres.
Push a bit more.
Copy.
We've taken care of Vesti's fuel situation. Drogovic still needs a little bit more, but he's got 21 laps, including this one, to save those little 200 grams of fuel. It's plenty of time.
Energy if you need it.
Copy.
Let's try and get Felipe ahead of Ocon here.
Get the tyres down now.
Yeah.
And there we go, that's the move done.
Okay, good job.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Ah, we got caught by... got hurt by Norris there, who's still on the wets. Is Norris going to dive into the pits? Yes, he is. Excellent stuff. Let's get after Gasly. So Ricciardo's going to come out still ahead of us, but we've got more pace, much more pace than Ricciardo. Drogovic is going to jump Norris. It's going to be close on exit. Yeah, we've got him. So we're up to 9th. So we're almost in the points with
Use energy if you need.
with Felipe as well now.
Yeah, copy.
Let's make this move on Gasly. Excellent stuff. We're up to 5th. So let's set about chasing after Ricardo. Are we even closing in on sights here?
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
We are. We're about half a second faster than sights right now. Thanks to our pushing on the tyres. So we are 11 seconds off the back of Ricardo. Let's see how quickly we can close that gap down. As the Williams gets out of our way and then holds up Gasly a little bit and definitely holds up Perez as well. That's given us a little bit of breathing space. Ricardo's been passed by Bottas, so that means the pace of the front is going to increase slightly. Verstappen's half a lap ahead of us, more than half a lap ahead of us. In fact, it's entirely possible that Verstappen may end up lapping Drugovich here, given how fast he is. Depends. The likelihood of that happening will decrease as soon as we switch to slicks. Just a question of when that's going to happen. Prediction is with about 4 or 5 laps to go that we'll be on slicks. We've taken about a second out of Ricardo on that last lap. Well, half a second, according to that. Track is drying up. This is going to help our drivers considerably. This is kind of like the sweet spot for them. Drugovich is still lapping faster than Sainz. Let's get Drugovich to sprint. I want to see if we can break away from Ocon. I don't want Ocon to get the benefit of a slipstream off us and drag him along with us. I'm hoping that Gasly's going to end up dropping back under pressure from Perez, and that will take care of those two. And then we see, yeah, a second a lap faster than Ricardo. 0.6 of a second faster than Sainz now that we are using a little bit of battery. There we go, we've broken away from Ocon. Let's see if we can stay ahead of Ocon now. Or if he's going to start closing us in. Don't forget, we are in direct competition with Alpine, so beating Ocon is good, although there's no points involved in that little fight, but Alonso's running second right now, quite comfortably, so that's big points. That's very big points for Alpine. Just as we got the gap down to a point between the two teams. And we are pulling away from Gasly with Vesti, which is excellent. And it does look like we are inching away from Ocon as well. It's going to be another dramatic end to this Grand Prix, especially if we get those slicks in the final few laps. Part of me kind of wants it to stay like this, but you know, we're not closing on Alonso anywhere near fast enough. But I am easily closing in on Ricciardo and Bottas while those two are scrapping. Those two I will get. Alonso, probably not, unfortunately. But it does put us on target for a second podium in a row for Freddie Vesti. Another 4/10 gained on Sainz, another second gained on Ricciardo and Bottas.
So happy to let these tyres cool a bit.
Copy.
And Drogovic is now almost fuel positive.
Rears are hot.
Copy.
Let's take a look at tyre wear. I know we're pushing these tyres a bit harder. Yeah, not too bad. Another little light sprinkling of rain here. That's going to help us keep our tyre temps under control.
Rain risk is receding.
Copy.
And there we go, we're 4 laps. 4 minutes away, so slicks are going to come slightly earlier than I thought they would. So we're going to have like 6, maybe 7 laps of slick running. So it's going to be another barnstormer of a finish. So I need to get in front of this Ferrari while I can. We got him.
You're doing a good job.
I would dearly love to try and get some more battery in the cars again, but
with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
right now I need to kind of protect our track position. And I need to try, if I can, to stretch that gap to Sainz. Which is going to be really tough because he's going to get such a slipstream off us. Let's try and get a little into Felipe's car. Still closing on Bottas and Ricciardo. And I need to keep pushing because I am actually going to up the tyres.
So we just need to
I'm
push
going to
now.
take a
with
gamble
tyres are happy
because I
to
want to
push.
see if I can jump them
Okay, copy.
in the pits.
So
We're
you
2
good to
minutes
push?
away from slicks. We're 2 laps away, maybe 3. I really hope this doesn't come back to bite me. Oh no, he's doing it again, says Farrah. Yeah, I'm gambling. There they are. Probably going to dive in for slicks at the end of this next lap.
We just need to charge up.
Copy.
Box.
Copy, box.
Here we go.
Box.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm entering the pit.
Copy. So use pit limiter.
Ah, my stomach's churning here. Getting really nervous for this now. .6 seconds on the nose for Freddie. .47. Slightly quicker for Felipe there. Alright, we got out ahead of Ocon and Norris. That was important. And Drogovic is out ahead of Albon. Comfortably ahead of Albon. DRS will be active this lap. And there you can see Ocon's DRS opening up.
Use energy.
So Alonso, Bottas and Ricciardo all dive into the pits. Have we been able to gain enough time on this lap to really close up to Bottas and Ricciardo? It's going to be tight. It's going to be so tight. Ricciardo and Bottas are leaving the pits. We're going to come out right behind them. There they are. So we close the gap. Can Felipe get back in front of Sainz? I don't think he can. No, he can't. So Felipe's lost a couple of positions from that early stop, but that's more, I think, down to the fact that he was on a recharge run. Verstappen boxes. Unless Alonso does something stupid, he's guaranteed second place. Perez is in third. Is he not stopped? No, he hasn't stopped yet. Ooh. Oh, now that could be interesting. Is he going to really significantly cause enough of a slowdown? No, he's not. Right, Freddie's out of battery. There's Sainz. Perez dives into the pits. So we're going to jump Perez. New fastest lap for Freddie. Oh, we're going to be right on the back of Sainz here. Not Sainz, sorry, Perez. He's just come out in front of Sainz. Oh, we are so close.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Yeah, copy.
Oh, this is tense. Oh, we're close to Sainz as well. We're into the DRS. And we're almost in the DRS of Sainz. We are now in the DRS of Sainz. And just in front of Sainz is Perez. If we can catch Sainz, we can catch Perez.
Some lift and coast will help that.
Copy.
5 more laps. 5 more laps. So back off.
Copy.
Yeah, take it easy.
Copy.
New fastest lap for Felipe. I don't know which driver to focus on. This is a fight for the podium. This is a fight for the final point position. So Ricardo's going to make another run on Bottas. Can we do anything about following through? No, we can't.
Yeah, copy.
I need a full battery for this fight. So I'm going to have to stick behind them for another lap. Oh, we've got to move on sites.
Energy if you need it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Looks like Aston Martin.
I've got to see that one again.
Just gained a race position. Let's see what happened there.
Yeah, he got the
Let's
run
have a look here. This
out of
was
the
Aston Martin.
final turn. He's having a look at the inside of Perez. Didn't quite make it. Got him this time though.
Got loads of energy.
Copy.
Okay, 7th place and 2.5 seconds to Gasly. Can we get Gasly as well?
Doing a good job.
That'll be an interesting one.
3 more laps. 3 more laps.
Alright, here we go. Hey, Corey.
So use energy if you need it.
Yeah, copy.
Okay, Bottas is through, which means we can have a run at Ricciardo here. Couldn't quite make it. Got to get him here.
Red Bull moved up.
Perez got back past. That's to be expected. Oh, we got a yellow flag in sector 1. That's Ocon.
I think there's been a lock-up. Let's take a look at the replay. Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon. And this, yes, there, that's the lock-up.
So happy to let these tyres cool a bit.
Copy.
Oh man, am I gonna... I thought I was gonna get them both for a second then. I've got to get one of them here. Alright, we're past Bottas. Can we get Ricciardo as well?
Last lap. Last lap.
This is the last lap. This is the fight for the final spot on the podium.
You're doing a good job.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Use energy.
Copy.
I may have gone a bit too early there. I've got no battery left.
Over the finish line.
Have I
And
screwed
today's
myself
winner.
here?
Yeah, copy.
need to charge it.
Oh, this is a run for the final battle here. Come on, hold this. Block him. No, Ricardo's going to jump me. Ah. And now I'm going to lose out to Bottas as well. Ah. Gutted.
Checkered flag, but you can keep
Gutted. I went too early. I ran out of battery at the wrong point. I didn't have anything to defend with. But hey, 5th and 6th, what a comeback. From starting 19th and 20th, I'll take it. The only real downside to this result was that Alonso finished second, so he gets 8 points. We get 7, I think.
What an incredible outcome for Aston Martin's driver. Aston Martin having an extremely good day at the track.
Indeed, the team has demonstrated technical skill as well as a great deal of heart. They can be really proud of their efforts this weekend.
The end this weekend in 5th place in the constructor standings.
For the next round, we're heading back to the heart of the UK. Get ready for a race to remember in Silverstone, the cradle of Formula One.
Well, there we go. Oh, what a race. Alonso really did well to gain 11 places off the grid. Ricciardo sneaking the podium from us on the last corner. And then Bottas jumping us as well. Just didn't quite have enough left to fight. So close. But we gained 14 positions with each of our drivers there. Phenomenal result for us. We do lose a point in the hunt at Alpine, but I can live with that. In the Drivers' Championship, Max, another dominant win. His gap is now 26 points over Perez, who only just managed to sneak a point at the end. No points for Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton or Sainz. All 4 of those guys really struggled in this race. Mainly because they stayed out on inters for so long at the beginning. They should have pitted for wets, but they didn't. Alonso jumps up to 7th place ahead of both of our 2 drivers. But we do jump Ocon with Freddie as he moves up into 9th. Into the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull extending their gap even more. They are now 64 points clear of Ferrari. That is a done and dusted race. And no change between these 2 teams. Again, neither of them scoring any points, so it stays at a 7-point gap. Alpine close by 8 points, so they are now 26 points off Mercedes, and we are just 2 points further back. Is it possible that we could make this a 4-way fight for second? I really don't know. It'd be interesting to see how the season develops. I've got to... It's the only reason these guys didn't score points was because of the rain. That's, you know, they would have scored points, and we wouldn't even been in with a sniff of a podium, I don't think, had it not been for the weather. But yeah, I mean, it's another race where Mercedes and Ferrari don't really do much. Ferrari got some good points last time at Baku and jumped back into second, but Mercedes have just struggled for points for the last 3 races now. Really struggling. All that early season promise they showed is just melting away a little bit. Big experience points for both of our drivers here. There you see 20 overtakes, 17 defences, 23 failed overtakes and 7 failed defences for Freddie, who had an exceptional race. And Felipe also with an exceptional race, 23 overtakes, 11 defences, 18 failed overtakes, 6 failed defences. They both earned a stack of points there. And we do get a development point for Freddie. We might even get one for Felipe as well. And then with our sponsors, we threw up a position gain guarantee, which was supposed to give us a lot more than that, but it didn't, which is a bit annoying. It seems to be a bit bugged. So yeah, we should have made about 2.5 million off that, and we made 260,000. We made about a tenth of what we should have made there. So we didn't gain as much financially as we wanted to, but we still had plenty. Still had plenty of cash in the bank to pay for all those engines. So let's give another breaking point to Freddie. He's closing in on that magical 80 number before we can start working on his cornering. Felipe is just a week away from getting a point, so he should have one before Silverstone, and that'll be another point on his cornering. Let's have a look at our staff. No points for our staff. We're 11 days out. Are we bringing some upgrades for this one? I think we are, aren't we? Yeah, we're bringing a new chassis and a new suspension to Silverstone. So that will help give us a nice little boost. So let's go ahead to the warehouse. To car development. Let's go to current projects and let's cancel this project. Or cancel one of those chassis. Get some money back, because we've got... there we go. We've got a new chassis project about to drop, so we don't need an extra chassis now. Facility-wise, nothing really needs our attention just yet. Yeah, we're all good here. Let's go to our inbox. Once again, we're exceeding the board's expectations. They're very, very happy with us. We've got a brand new ATR period, so we'll be able to start work on a new major upgrade. So what do I want to work on? Let's see, we're on a Spec 3 chassis with a Spec 4 chassis about to drop. We're on a Spec 2 front wing, so that's probably going to be the next thing that we work on. A Spec 3 rear wing, a Spec 4 side pods, a Spec 2 underfloor, and a Spec 4 suspension with a Spec 5 about to drop. Yeah, we could go front wing, we could go underfloor. I might go underfloor, actually. I don't know. I mean, our braking... We'll see what our braking situation is like once we get the new suspension on. At the moment, our brake cooling is good, but could be better. We've got a lot of pace in the car, but we are going to have the mid-season break coming up soon. And then we're going to have Spa, and then Zandvoort, and then Monza. You know, 3 circuits where we're going to need grip and pace. So maybe an underfloor might be the way to go instead of a front wing. We could always do a minor front wing alongside a major upgrade for the underfloor. We will make those decisions next week when we come back for Silverstone. Tomorrow will be Williams. I forget where it is we're heading. I think it's the Hungaroring, because we just did Paul Ricard, didn't we? Yeah, so we're going to the Hungaroring, and that'll be our mid-season break point for Williams. That'll be tomorrow night, and then Monday will be Spa, and then Tuesday we'll be back with Silverstone on challenge mode. So that's kind of the schedule for the next few days. Yes, I know I keep talking about City Skylines. I do need to just sit down at some point and start recording. I will try and get that done this weekend. So I've got something to release next week. Not going to hold that as a guarantee, but I will certainly try to. But yeah, that's where we are. That's what we're going to be doing in the next few days. So until then, thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.